What's good, boxing fams? It's Pool Kind of Boxing coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing heads and the boxing minds. Canelo Alvarez did an interview with in-depth Graham Bensinger. Canelo, he opened up in the interview about a lot of things that's going on in his life. And in that interview, he talked about how he really disliked Triple G and he that was the one guy he wanted to cut his head off because of the allegations that Triple G said that accused him of, that he was doping. And he went on to talk about how to defend himself of that allegation, saying how the meat was tainted, through the Mexican country. All throughout the country, they have clenbuterol in the meat. And he also went on to say that it wasn't categorized as a steroid, and he had very little in his system. So he even talked about how they raised the limits because of this, that all the meat in Mexico has clenbuterol in it. And that's a little insane to believe, but that's what he said. So, Canelo also talked about how the media, they would never understand these points, and that the media was there and they're going to fuck you over anyway. And so he has no use for explaining himself, to the media, because that's what they do. And, he thanks his wife and child before he goes up into the ring, because he never knows if that's going to be, his last time he see him before he fights. So that was touching. So Canelo has been coming out, with a lot more personal things about his life, which is great, because we always known Canelo to be like a very stoic figure. He's always plays his his personal life close to the vest, and so it was good to kind of see the man behind the image type thing. But we also see the privilege. We see corruption, in my opinion. I know a lot of his fans would not agree with that, but that's what it is. That's what I see. And Canelo has been he's been settling his scores, so to say, with Oscar De La Hoya, by coming out and saying, Oscar doesn't really run Golden Boy, and he's really been taking his shots. And he also said that he see why the PBC fighters all went, the Golden Boy fighters went to PBC because of Oscar's neglectful behavior. All he wants to do is drink and party, and he don't want to really do any work. So that was, coming out this month about some of the things that Canelo Alvarez has been saying about some of his business partners. So he said Oscar De La Hoya wasn't loyal, because he was stealing from him from the contract deals, making a side deal with the Zone, and that he wasn't making all his money, and that he, when he becoming a free agent was like the greatest thing that had ever happened to him, because now, he can make the deals, that benefits himself. So, and along with that, Canelo has been very vocal about Billy Joe Saunders and his complaints, calling him a loser for complaining about the gift decisions and the whole stigma with Canelo and judges, how he always get the close decisions and the the loss. People said he lost to Triple G in the first fight, and he got a gifted draw. And they clearly think that Triple G beat him in the second one, but it's a controversy. He always get the gift decisions, and the decision against Ari Laura, that was a close one. And Trout, Austin Trout, that was a close one. And he always seems to get the benefit of the doubt. So that's what people are talking about. And he don't seem to separate himself. When he does step up, it never seems like he clearly is the winner or the dominant one to be considered such a superstar, just in my opinion. So, he didn't even beat Floyd, which he just recently said that he would beat in a fight, prime for prime. And so it's almost like we're living in an alternate universe, because Floyd was 36 when he fought the young, then 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez. So it's almost like it's like a rewriting of history. And even though he says that he's not explaining himself, but it looked like he's doing a great job explaining himself, right? So, it's clearly he's haunted by that loss by Mayweather. And he probably, even today, if you ask Canelo, he would probably accept a fight from Floyd Mayweather. Seeing that Floyd is about to fight Jake Paul. I think they just pushed it back. The fight to June 26th, something like that. But I think that fight really, really stings for Canelo because of the way he lost and how it hangs over him, because I think he wanted a stellar, perfect record like Floyd. But to be honest, he didn't fight the fights that Floyd fought when he was a young man coming up through the ranks. Floyd had to go through the fire, the real fire, with Diego Corrales and Castile and Hernandez to become, the young champion. And, Canelo did not have to go through these guys, Oscar De La Hoya, Manuel Augustus. He had to fight Cotto in his prime. Not when Canelo fought him. Canelo fought these guys when they were older. So, he's kind of cherry-picked himself into this position. So, you can't really compare, Canelo can't really compare himself to a Mayweather, because he have not had a Mayweather-type career. And Mayweather, had two sides to his career. And I think we all know this. It's just kind of crazy to kind of whitewash the boxing history in favor of Canelo. And he knows these things, but when you're trying to build a legacy, it should be based on reality and not some, fantasy pseudo type thing that you're trying to manufacture. But I still think Canelo is a great fighter. But in this interview, it was just kind of good to see another side of him. And, the whole thing about his brothers being kidnapped, and that was interesting, by the cartel. So I'm pretty sure maybe that has something to do with him opening up to the public, or maybe he's just trying to, and I dare say it, put a little bit more publicity on his up and coming fight with Billy Joe Saunders, who he called a loser for making all these excuses. But it is what it is, Canelo is just being a little bit more vocal than we're used to. So, but it's good to him step it up, and show a little personality. So this has been Pool Kind of Boxing. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. And I'll get back with you with some more good content. I'll be going live. And you guys join me and we'll talk some boxing. And I'm out. Goodbye.